So when this fragrance came out, didn't really think too much about it. Of course, it caught my attention. The name sounds cool. It's got a nice looking bottle, as these Goldfield and Banks typically usually have, but didn't really think all that much about it. It wasn't like on my list super high of something I needed to try. That was until I started hearing the comparisons to this, and then I knew I had to try it. So today we're going to be checking out Bohemian Lime by Goldfield and Banks. I'm going to be telling you my full thoughts on this one, how it smells, how it performs when you wear it, and ultimately if I think it smells like Roja Elysium and if I think it's worth picking up. Now, admittedly, I've had this fragrance for a few weeks now, just never really got around to recording this review, but it has given me plenty of time to wear it and test it out. So today, we're going to go ahead and look at my full thoughts on this one. So when you first spray this one on, what you'll get right away in the opening is lime. Does that surprise you? It probably shouldn't because, well, it's in the name. You do get a nice, prominent, and authentic lime note. Now, the exact lime that they're using happens to be called finger lime. It's some sort of lime from Australia. I don't know, what that is in comparison to other types of lime because, well, I'm not a lime expert, and this is the first time I've ever smelled finger lime. But I do know that you do get a lot of it here in the opening. You can tell right away. It's vibrant, it's juicy, it's just a little bit tart, and it smells nice and invigorating, and it instantly gives it like a summery type of smell. With that lime, you're getting a little bit of bergamot as well, and maybe that's adding to the tartness that you get. It's a little bit tart, a little bit sour. The lime, the bergamot, it's a pretty usual combination for an opening. They do it here, and it smells great. The two notes don't really clash with each other. They work together pretty well to create a nice, fresh, and bright opening. That lime stays pretty prominent as you work into the mid. Once you start getting into the mid and even into the dry down, the vetiver starts to come into play. And it's basically, for the most part, a lime and vetiver fragrance. Now, this is where the comparisons to Elysium come in. You get that nice citrus, but with the vetiver undertone, very similar to something like Elysium. However, I gotta say, they don't really smell all that similar. It is something that will remind you of Elysium when you spray it, especially, again, kind of getting that opening and even some of the vetiver underlying under that, but it's not really straight up Elysium. To me, Elysium has a bit more substance, a bit more backbone to it. It's got a bit more of a sparkling, kind of magical, more expensive smelling thing going on. This one is basically straight up lime and vetiver. Pretty simplistic in its note breakdown and in its just composition overall. Not to say that this is a bad quality scent, because of course it's not. I touched on the quality smelling good when you first spray it, but I do think the Elysium comparisons, while it is somewhat similar, it would be a far stretch to say that they are very close to each other. Now, whether or not they took inspiration from Elysium when creating this, who knows? Definitely does resemble it a little bit here, but it also does do its own thing, which you have to respect them for that. It's not a straight up Elysium clone. They kind of go off in their own direction here, focusing on, obviously, the lime in this fragrance. At the end of the day, it's a citrus woody fragrance that works really, really well, very pleasant, smells great, very uplifting and vibrant as well. And hey, it's a good one for the really, really hot weather, just in the dead of summer, which was really when this one was released. Came out, I believe, early August. Man, it's definitely a great time of the year for something like this when it is very hot and humid. Of course, now that we're starting to kind of gear up for fall, this one will probably be set back on my shelf, and it's not going to be making it in my rotation as much. It is something you could wear year round if you really wanted to, but really, this one's going to be suited for spring and summertime, more specifically summertime. So this was a fragrance that I actually wore a lot when I first got it in, and that's something that doesn't always happen. Usually I get something new in, I try it out, and most of the time it's just kind of okay. It takes me a while to actually start wearing it, then when I decide, okay, I need to review this one, that's when I really start wearing it more to get my testing in. But this one, for a couple days in a row, I actually reached for this one and made it my scent of the day because I really was enjoying it. It's got kind of an addictive quality about it. It's very refreshing, very bright, and it does smell really good. Again, I just want to make you aware that if you're going into this expecting an Elysium clone, that's not it. Granted, at retail, this one isn't much cheaper than Elysium, so if you want Elysium, get Elysium. This one's still going to be running you close to $200 for a 100 ml bottle. But if you do want a lime vetiver based fragrance, just a nice citrus woody scent, this one's worth checking out. Quality on this one is great. It doesn't smell cheap or synthetic or anything. Again, the notes all fit together and work together well. It develops nicely off your skin. Really no complaints about quality or anything like that. And performance, honestly, on my skin is pretty good as well. On average, about 6.5 to 7 hours longevity, which is better than I was expecting, to be honest with you. A lot of it's going to be because it does have a primarily woody base, the vetiver, the cedar wood. That's going to stick around on your skin for a long time, which it does. Again, not the strongest, longest lasting scent there is, but for what it is, it does perform pretty good. Projection, it tends to sit a little bit closer to the skin, so if you want it to project more, you're going to want to go with a few extra sprays. Also, wearing it out in the high heat will make it project more as well. Of course, a scent like this is going to be something that will garner you up a lot of compliments. It's just super refreshing, super clean, and really, really pleasant and nice smelling. That sort of thing is kind of the recipe for getting you compliments and getting you feedback. This one will do that, but do keep in mind, again, it's going to be more on the expensive side. There's other fragrances much cheaper that can garner you compliments. So if you're solely after compliments, you can get something cheaper that may even do better than this one. This is really going to be for someone with deeper pockets who wants a nice citrus woody based scent, a nice lime, authentic lime with a nice quality vetiver. It's not going to be in everyone's price range. That's just kind of how niche fragrances are. But if you have the money for it and you like fragrances like this, maybe you get a sample, it's not a bad pickup. If this would have came out early on in the summer, I probably would have worn it a lot more. And again, I did get to wear it quite a bit here, but we already are running down to the end of summer. I'm already working into my fall rotation a little bit here and there when I can. So this one's probably going to have to sit and wait next summer, most likely, for me to really start wearing it a lot. But I am glad that I have it, and it is a pretty solid scent all around. I'm honestly pretty impressed with the release. I wasn't expecting a whole lot, but we ended up getting something pretty good here. So guys, that's pretty much it. That is my thoughts on Bohemian Lime by Goldfield and Banks. Not a bad scent, really. It's a pretty good release. If you want to check it out, you can grab it online. But again, just to reiterate, if you want this, you're going to need to just buy this. This one isn't close enough to consider it, an alternative or a clone. Maybe it borrows some ideas from Elysium a little bit, but at the end of the day, it does develop into its own fragrance. It's kind of a tongue twister because you have the N and then the M, Bohemian Lime. I keep wanting to say Bohemian Line for some reason. It just keep mixing them up. It's not good. If you guys enjoyed the review, let me know what you think. And if you've tried this one, let me know what you think as well. That's it for me, guys. Stay safe, stay healthy. We'll see you tomorrow night with another one. Take care.